Lerrone Richards, aka Sniper the Boss, as we can see on the screen there. Welcome to Into Boxing and the Fight Buzz. Thank you very much for joining us. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm blessed, mate. I'm blessed. And how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. You know, you don't get that a lot. A lot of people just, yeah, I'm fine, and then they move on. But no, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much for asking. You've just got in the bubble, I think, in the last couple of hours or so?
Yeah, last couple of hours. So just waiting for my results to get back, and then I'll be free.
It is that feeling when you're sitting in the hotel room and you're thinking, right, what to smash on Netflix? Although I believe it's not a 24-hour quarantine period this time, so maybe it won't be too bad.
Nah, it's all right. I'm pretty prepared. I'm well prepared, mate. I've got my PlayStation here. I've got my iPad. So
nice. What games you play?
I play COD, a little bit of COD, Fortnite, and FIFA. Just started playing FIFA now. I didn't really play it often, but when I was coming in the bubble, I knew that I had to work on a few things because I knew people were going to try and play me. So I thought, play a bit of FIFA.
I think they've really missed a trick on these bubbles. They should have had like FIFA tournaments, between the rooms while these 24 hours, or even COD tournaments or whatever. Just some form of like, let's all get on. Maybe have a leaderboard down in the reception area. I think that'd be quite cool.
Yeah, that's a good shout. It's a good shout.
I think we're a bit late.
Would have signed up to that for sure.
Well, you seem calm, which is good. You seem pretty chilled and laid back, which is, I guess, the way to be in fight week.
Yeah, I'm just a cool, calm, collected guy, and I know my job, and I'm on my job. So, I'm just chilled, bro. Very chilled.
When you go through camp for this, do you have to now factor in fight week? Because I guess it's a bit different to normal. I mean, in normal circumstances, normal being pre-COVID, okay, you still have commitments, things like photo shoots and interviews and press conferences and that kind of thing. You go and do them for a couple of hours and then you go again. So you can jump in a gym or you can jump in a in a sauna or whatever it is that you need to do. Do you have to take into account that during COVID time you're in a bubble and maybe, I know there's a workout room, but it's not really the same?
Yeah, it's a little bit different, but we still get the sessions that I need in. Yeah, to me, it's not really made such a big difference. Obviously, it's a little bit different in terms of, your surroundings and having to book times for the gym and these sort of things. But it's all the same to me. I make the weight professionally, like always. So I never have to worry about weight. And when I'm in the bubble, I've got my strength coach. I've got obviously Dave here, so it makes no difference, bro. Nothing at all.
Fair enough. How does it feel when you see your opponent walking around? Like, we saw Derek Chisora and Joseph Parker the other week having breakfast together.
Yeah.
I was right next to them when it happened. It was a bit of a weird one because they were trying to enjoy their eggs and avocado while at the same time quite glaringly saying, "I'm going to knock you out." No, I'm going to knock you out. And it was a bit. Is it a bit weird seeing your opponent there?
Not really, because it reminds me a lot of the amateur circuit.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know, they don't talk about it, but I had a good amateur career.
Yeah.
And I boxed internationally around the world. And when you're in these tournaments, you see your opponent walking around. You don't know your opponent, and then when you actually get to like the final, quarterfinals and stuff like that, you start seeing your opponent. You know who he is, and you see him around. But it's not such a big deal for me. At the end of the day, Saturday's fight night, and that's when you get the job done.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about Saturday then. It's a great card to be a part of. I think it's one of these cards that's really for the boxing fans. I was saying to Dave before, there's a lot of fights on there that have consequences and ramifications. If he wins, then this could happen. He could move there. Blah blah blah. You play a big part in that this weekend. Just talk to me a little bit about the card and your role in it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate really because Terri Harper had to pull out because of her hand injury.
Yeah.
And I trained with Terri Harper in the boxing science gym.
Okay.
With Danny Wilson, so we do our strength and conditioning with the same man. And when she pulled out, it was a disappointment. But at the same time, with boxing, things like that happen. And I hope. Well, I just want to say I hope she gets better soon, as she comes back from a hand injury as smoothly as possible. But in terms of like the card, I am very excited, and I do have an opportunity here to showcase my skills and potentially steal the show.
Was that a knock on the door then?
That was a knock on the door. Do you want to go? One sec. Look.
Let's go see who it is. Let's go see who it is.
Hello. COVID-free.
Yes, we are.
Breaking news.
It's easily safe. Ground is for food.
Okay.
Mezzanine level is media and gym.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so
Step one complete. You got the orange band off and the white band on.
White band on, so yes, yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, it's a big opportunity for me, to showcase my skills and show everyone what I'm all about.
Yeah, it's a real opportunity. And before we move on to your opportunity, I just want to echo what you were saying there. Terri Harper, gutted for it, because that's a career that's, as you will know, really going through the gears at the minute. And I think she tweeted the other day saying she was crying over breakfast because of it. And I can't imagine what it would do to someone. But I echo your sentiments, wish you all the very best. But to move on to your career, this is an opportunity. This is a massive one. And I was reading the quotes on the press releases from Matchroom and other places. And one thing that I really liked that you were saying, and I was speaking to Dave Colwell about this just an hour or so ago, is I feel like a lot of boxers, and I understand why, they tend to look ahead. They might not like saying it, but they try and jump through the gears quickly. Whereas I was reading your quotes and you were saying, look, this is the fight that opens doors, but I've got to get through it first. This is a good European level that, okay, there are potentially world level fights after it, but this fight here is a massive one. I can't be distracted from it. That's
it. And I've been very vocal, and I said there's something to learn at every level as well. And I never wanted to skip the European title. When I win this title, doors will be open, and at least then I know that I belong at that level. I don't want to be guessing. Oh, you win this title, you win an international title, then you step up into a level that you don't know, the unknown, and having to figure out, and mentally in your brain thinking, oh, do I really belong here? When I get to that level, that world level, I wouldn't need to think that because I've done the right steps. Yeah,
100%. I just want to just pick you up on that. I love the language when I win it. There's no if, there's no, whatever happens. It's when I win it. But what I will say, usually we have Dean White joining us on these interviews. He's over in Mexico trying to get into Vegas at the minute for the fight that happened last week. But we always ask guests who come on who are fighting in title fights, should you win the belt, or should I say, when you win the belt, we might ask you to come back on and show us the belt, which would be
no problem. Yeah.
But yeah, moving back onto it, like you say, this fight at the weekend is big. What do you know about the opponent? What do you expect him to bring to the ring on Saturday?
Do you know? I've watched bits of him. I don't really go crazy watching my opponents because you don't really know what they're going to bring to the table because you have to adjust in the ring.
Yeah.
But I know he has a lot of pedigree. He can box. He can fight. He's got a good work rate. He can punch a little bit, so it's going to be a hard night's work, but a fight that I believe that I can win and win very, very well.
When you say a hard night's work, I guess at your stage of a career, you kind of want that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, every boxer, I guess, dreams of the amazing first round knockout or whatever, and you don't get paid for overtime and cliches come through. But really, if this is a learning fight as much as it is a progression fight and a statement fight in many ways, you need to get those rounds in. You need to know that you, like you say, you're going through these lessons. So when you do go to world level, you've handled yourself through the rounds at European.
Exactly. Do you know what? And it could be against any opponent. I'll say a hard night's work because you should never go into a fight thinking it's going to be easy, and that's where a lot of people have a lot of issues, and they will become they get sort of stuck because they're going into fights thinking it's easy. I'm going to have no problem here. I'm mentally focused. I'm so focused. I'm focused in every fight, and I always approach fights as it's going to be hard. But obviously, when I'm in the ring, I'll make it as easy as I can.
Do you feel like you are now being recognised for your talents? Because you said yourself, you've had this big decorated amateur career. You know, you've been around the block. Should we say? You know, you kind of understand that there are levels and that there are passages you have to walk, etc. But again, I was speaking with Dave before. You've got this team around you now that is as good as any in the world. I imagine. You know, you've got Dave Caldwell in one respect, who has won world titles with fighters. You know, he's done it. He's been at the top level on numerous occasions. He completely knows it. You've got S-Jam there. You're now with Matchroom. These are big companies, or big establishments within the sport of boxing. Do you feel that's kind of recognition on yourself? Because they don't just sign anybody. These guys don't just team up with anybody on the hope and a prayer that this kid could turn out to be okay. They work with people that they know are destined for things.
Yeah, well, at the start of my career, even though I won them titles as an amateur, I was kind of like pushed under the carpet. No one really wanted, or I don't want to say no one really wanted to get involved with me, but I just never got the opportunities. And I had to stay focused and just grind and believe in myself and keep backing myself. And I knew this time would come. It came later than a lot of other people. But like I said, I always backed myself, and I knew that my talent will take me through. And now I've got this, this team. The future's bright, mate. The future's bright, and I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep growing. But I'm never gonna forget how I started, because how I started is what's made me the man I am today.
No, fair play. Well, without look, I'm not going to ask you to look past your opponent, but it's kind of my job to say, what could happen in the future. Middleweight at the minute is absolutely popping, especially because of what happened last weekend. Did you catch the Saunders Canelo fight? And if you did, which I imagine you did, what were your thoughts on it?
I was a bit upset, to be honest. After the fight, because I know Billy and I was worried about him. So I hope Billy has a fast recovery, and he's all right. But in terms of the fight, it was a good fight. You saw a lot of skills in that ring. You saw a lot of brains. Their brains were just firing. You could tell they're both thinking in the ring. Canelo was impressive. He's been very consistent the last few fights as well. So it was a good fight while it lasted. I thought Billy started to gain some sort of momentum in the fight. Had a couple good rounds, and then he had the eye injury. And but yeah, it was a good fight, and I enjoyed watching it.
When you look at the world level, if you like, which maybe if you win, when you win on Saturday, and you get past a couple more tests, maybe you can start putting yourself in that kind of mix. What fighters do you see out there to be the real challengers? I mean, Canelo is the obvious answer, right? Let's put him right at the top of the division. But to get to him, there are many steps along the way. Which kind of fighters do you see in that vicinity?
Do you know what? Once you step up to European level, no fight's easy.
Yeah.
And so anyone I fight up until now, or up until a world title, and into the end of my career, it's not going to be easy. They're all going to be a challenge, because they want your scalp, don't they?
True.
So it's obviously Canelo's top. He's elite level, because I think there's different levels. There's European level, there's fringe world level, which I plan on stepping up to next, and then there's world level, meaning a world title.
Good way of putting it, fringe world level.
And then there is elite.
Yeah, which at the moment is occupied by one guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once I've won this European title, I can officially say that I'm a world contender.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your plans on fight day, because I've worked with a few fighters over the years that handle things differently. Some just like to chill out, take it easy, shut the door, maybe play some PlayStation if they have the opportunity. Whereas others try and keep the mind busy. They try and take the mind off thinking of anything but the fight. What's your setup on a fight day?
To be honest, I don't know. I just do what I want. I don't think about anything. I just do what I want. I know I'm boxing later on in the evening, so I just get on with it and just there's no plan, mate. I just do what I feel like doing on the day. There was one time I was meant to be boxing in the evening, and my previous coach called me. He said, "Oh, Lerrone, what are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm just in Halford, so I was just getting my car fixed, like getting a new battery in my car." And that was the day of me fighting, so I'm that chilled. I just get on with it, and once the bell goes, that's when it's on.
I have 2 questions for you. What did that coach say, and what would Dave Caldwell say if you talk? I mean, not this time, because if you did it this time, he'd say, "Why the hell are you out of the bubble?" But if in normal circumstances, what did that coach say, and what would Dave say if you told him
that? He said, "Couldn't you do it another day?" Like, what are you doing? Like, Dave Caldwell just think I'm crazy. I think he would laugh. He would laugh, but he would be like, as long as I get there on time, because I'm not really good with my time, which I'm trying to improve on.
Punctuality. How have you found working with Dave? Very highly esteemed coach, as we said before. He's done a lot in the game. How are you finding working with him?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You know, Dave, getting it right 9 times out of 10 is not good enough. And you know, that's something I've always needed in my career, and we get along really, really well. And he's a nice man. He's a family man, and yeah, man, it's going great.
Perfect. We'll let you get off in a sec. Just before we do, now you've had the white band, so you can get out of your room and go and head around. What are you going to do? Are you going to pretend that you've not had it so you can get a quick couple of games of FIFA in, or are you getting straight down and seeing who's about?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot down, man, and see what's going on. See if I can get Dave on that table tennis. See how good he is.
Well, he was talking a big game before, saying he'd like a game with Virgil Hunter. I guess he's got to get through you first, but
yeah. Dave. Oh, Dave is gonna get beat by me so bad. It's so funny. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was there. That might be the highlight of the week. Sometimes the competitiveness on the pool table and on the table tennis is just as competitive as what goes on in the ring.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, listen. All the best for your big table tennis match. All the best for your fight on Saturday. I'm sure we'll catch up after it and in the not too distant future, when hopefully you can show us a European belt on the show as well.
That's it, mate. That's it. Yeah, I just want to quickly thank my sponsor, FCI Markets. Thank my mum and dad, my son, and my brother and sisters for all their support, man. Because without them, without them, things would be a lot harder.
How old is your son, Lerrone?
He's only 9 and a bit months now, so
wow.
He's still very, very young. But I'm doing everything here, not just for myself, but for him too.
Amazing. Well, listen, congratulations on the 9-month-old son as well, and all the best. We'll catch up with you after it, mate.
I appreciate it, bro.